Caitlyn has brought a ton of new opportunity, a ton of new eyeballs, and more money to the sport. So instead of downplaying the magnitude of who she is and what she's brought, enjoy the ride and take advantage of the ride.
Caitlyn Clark just clinched Time's Athlete of the Year, but the spotlight comes with unexpected criticism. The surprising twist? NBA legends are rallying to her defense, igniting conversations across social media. Yet the WNBA's silence is deafening, leaving fans questioning its role in backing one of its brightest stars. As NBA champs speak up, this story unravels more than just support. It challenges perceptions of women's basketball and sparks a heated debate. Buckle up, because this is just the beginning.
And first of all, she's unbelievable talent. You know, the things that she's doing is great in her own right. She's creating her own space, she's doing her own thing.
Before diving into the NBA champ's defense, let's set the stage. Caitlyn Clark's Time Athlete of the Year win should have been a unanimous celebration for women's basketball. Instead, an unexpected voice stirred controversy. Sheila Johnson, co-owner of the Washington Mystics, raised eyebrows during a CNN interview, leaving fans questioning her surprising critique.
Let's take a second right now to have a moment of silence for Washington Mystics owner Sheila Johnson, who suggested that the WNBA as a whole should have been on the cover of Time magazine instead of just Caitlyn Clark, who graced the cover last week, which is probably some of the stupidest I've ever heard.
Sheila Johnson stirred the pot by arguing that the entire WNBA, not just Caitlyn Clark, deserved the spotlight. When you single out one player, it creates hard feelings, she said, appearing to downplay Clark's remarkable achievements. Johnson's remarks also touched on race, voicing concern for equally talented players of color who, she believes, are often overlooked.
It's just the structure or the way media plays out race. I'm going to be very honest. I feel really bad because I've seen so many players of color that are equally as talented, and they never got the recognition that they should have. And I think right now, it is time for that to happen.
Let's face it, Caitlyn Clark's impact is undeniable. Her games are smashing attendance records and driving viewership for women's basketball to new heights. Despite the controversy, her influence on the sport's popularity is clear. But here's the twist. NBA champions are stepping into the conversation, delivering strong support for Clark. Their bold defense is shaking up the narrative, proving her critics might need to rethink their stance.
While the NBA's ratings continue to drop over 30%, as they try to figure out who is going to fill the shoes of LeBron James, Kevin Durant, and Steph Curry, the WNBA has a golden goose sitting in their league and it's gotten better, but has done everything to kind of discredit the momentum and eyeballs she's brought to this game.
You've heard the critics, but now it's time to meet the defenders. When NBA champions Matt Barnes and Trevor Ariza speak, the basketball world listens. What could these seasoned pros have to say about a college phenom turned WNBA rookie? Their words are sending shockwaves across the sport.
31% of the Mystics' entire attendance was in 2 games the Caitlyn team played against the Mystics. The Sparks, the Aces, the Mystics, the Dream all moved games when Fever came in town because of the attention that Caitlyn and her teammates have drawn that last season. Fever's jersey sales was up 1,000% and attendance was up 250%, and they had the largest attendance on average per year, just over 17,000 per game.
Matt Barnes, former NBA champion, isn't just discussing basketball. He's delivering hard truths about Caitlyn Clark's impact in the WNBA. On his podcast, Barnes held nothing back.
Let me say this, Caitlyn Clark deserves all the flowers. I think she took a lot of and a lot of skeptics coming into the league, as she should. Like, she had to really prove herself. Missed out on the Olympic opportunity, and really had a lot of hard knocks early on in the season where she was getting beat up and her teammates were just watching her. I think the camaraderie in that locker room grew, and that team started playing together and made the playoffs, made a nice little run, and had a solid season.
Barnes went further, criticizing the WNBA for what he views as a significant missed opportunity to fully embrace Caitlyn Clark's impact.
So Caitlyn is someone who has, if you look at it, done everything you're supposed to do and has been criticized along every step of the way. Again, she's damned if she does, and she's damned if she doesn't.
Barnes called out the WNBA, claiming they have a golden goose in Clark but are squandering her star power. He accused the league of undermining the momentum and attention she's brought to women's basketball, a bold critique from an NBA veteran on a pivotal moment for the sport.
I think they're doing an amazing job with, like you said, telling the story, and the players are actually doing their thing when they get there
Yes.
too. You know, like you mentioned, these couple of players, but Caitlyn being the one that we're speaking about right now, she is kicking everybody's ass, really.
Barnes isn't the only one standing up for Clark. NBA champion Trevor Ariza has also voiced his support, echoing Barnes's sentiments. Ariza likened Clark's impact to that of legends like Larry Bird, highlighting not just her on-court brilliance, but her unparalleled ability to captivate audiences and attract new fans to the game.
If we had to compare from what we've seen from the NBA, it would, in her effect, probably something similar to Larry Bird.
The support from NBA stars like Matt Barnes and Trevor Ariza for Caitlyn Clark holds tremendous weight. These are champions with years of experience, and their endorsement sheds light on the gap between Clark's immense popularity and the criticism she's receiving within her own league. Barnes underscored the historical importance of Clark's accomplishments, amplifying the conversation surrounding her impact on women's basketball.
When you see the people say it's not just her, there's other players, and again, we're not distracted. We understand that the depth of talent in that league, but when you also see the numbers that back up the fact that Caitlyn has a huge effect. Caitlyn Clark is responsible for nearly 27% of the WNBA's league-wide activity in 2024, including attendance. 1 in 6 tickets sold at the WNBA arena attributed to Caitlyn Clark. TV viewership was up 300% with Caitlyn Clark.
The message is clear. Caitlyn Clark isn't just a standout for herself or her team, but for women's basketball as a whole. The unexpected alliance between NBA champions and a WNBA rising star is shifting the narrative. It's no longer just about Clark's individual accolades or her Athlete of the Year award, but about how the WNBA markets its stars and capitalizes on the excitement she brings to the game.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
You know, they continue to push the game to the next level, you know, and you look at where the NBA was and now where the NBA is at now. And although everyone doesn't agree with the style of play, these guys have taken it to the next level as far as the business of basketball.
Right.
And I think that's what Caitlyn will affect, is the business of women's basketball, man. So we wish them the best. Definitely excited to see these upcoming seasons and these women continue to do their thing.
As Barnes and Ariza's comments gain traction, they're igniting discussions that go beyond Clark's on-court skills. Their remarks are prompting people to consider the larger implications for athlete marketability, women's sports, and the future of the WNBA. But this is just the start. Another influential NBA voice is about to weigh in, and their perspective could shift everything.
Congratulations to Caitlyn Clark for being named Time Athlete of the Year. I get why people are so upset. I'm a basketball player and a basketball fan. There's a lot of dynamics and a lot of layers to this thing when it deals with Caitlyn Clark. But I will say that this is just my opinion. It's certain people, I don't care if you're black, white, Spanish, from Europe, it doesn't matter, that have it, that draw something, okay? And Caitlyn is one of those.
Jim Jackson, former NBA star and current analyst, is entering the debate with his own perspective on Caitlyn Clark's impact. His analysis will offer a fresh viewpoint, diving into the complexities of marketability in women's basketball. Prepare for Jackson's take, as it promises to provide a new dimension to this conversation.
Keep in mind, this is a business. When Nike signs an athlete, Okay, they want to get an ROI, return on their investment. How do they do that? Because that athlete resonates. You understand that Caitlyn Clark, her jerseys, her apparel, if she has an apparel deal, her shoes will sell.
Jim Jackson isn't just adding his voice to the conversation. He's reshaping the narrative around sports marketing. What if our understanding of star power in women's basketball is all wrong? Jackson's analysis of Caitlyn Clark goes beyond her on-court skills and challenges how athletes in the WNBA are valued. As a former NBA player turned analyst, Jackson offers a unique perspective, focusing not just on Clark's performance, but also on her marketability. He compares Clark's appeal to that of NBA superstar Steph Curry, highlighting her potential to revolutionize the sport's visibility and reach.
The reason why Steph Curry, who may not be the best player, okay, in the NBA, but he draws differently. He draws different. He can be marketed differently than other players. It's some players who may be considered better, maybe a Kevin Durant. But the market, to market Kevin Durant is a lot different than marketing Steph Curry. People resonate with Steph Curry a lot more than a KD. Now, that may be KD's personality, okay? He doesn't really care. I'm just using KD.
But here's where it gets interesting. Jackson doesn't shy away from tough topics. He points out that while A'ja Wilson is arguably the best player in the WNBA, Clark's marketability surpasses hers. Why? Jackson explains that Clark's influence transcends her skills, making her a more powerful asset for the league.
It may not be, A'ja Wilson is the best player in the WNBA, but Caitlyn is more marketable because people tend to resonate. I don't care, black, white, whatever it may be. And now there is a race component to it. It always will be in some regards, okay? But the player itself, the person, what she was able to do, how she resonated, how she drew eyes to the TV. I don't agree with the Mystics owner saying that the whole WNBA should have been named that, because that's not true. The whole WNBA benefited this year from the viewership increase.
It's a bold statement, but Jackson backs it up. He highlights how Clark's impact goes beyond her race or playing style. It's about her ability to draw eyes, create excitement, and sell merchandise. Caitlyn Clark's jerseys and apparel are in high demand, Jackson notes, pointing to the skyrocketing interest in her gear.
Other players that get deals, men and women, okay, that have signature shoes, that despite how good they are as a player, great as they are as a player, they don't move product because it doesn't resonate, it doesn't translate.
This isn't just about one player's popularity. Jackson's analysis carries major implications for the WNBA's marketing strategy. He's essentially telling the league they're sitting on a gold mine. From a pure marketing perspective, Caitlyn Clark is it, Jackson states, delivering a wake-up call for a league struggling to grow its audience.
What translates is when Caitlyn Clark came into the league and 30,000 jerseys were already ordered, that the Indiana Fever, the season tickets were already sold out. When you go on the road to the Mystics and they have to change the venue in which it's going to be played to play, where the Wizards play, okay, on a couple of occasions. It's only certain people that do that. Whether you like Caitlyn or not, are you interested? If you're a ball player, there's certain aspects you got to love about Caitlyn's game.
Jackson's words serve as a wake-up call for the WNBA to capitalize on Clark's massive popularity. He's offering a clear path to grow the game by leveraging her star power. However, it raises an important question. If an NBA analyst can recognize this opportunity, why can't the WNBA? As Jackson's commentary spreads, it sparks a critical conversation about women's basketball's future. It forces a deeper look into uncomfortable truths about marketability, sports economics, and highlights the glaring lack of vocal support for Clark from the WNBA itself.
Purely from a basketball perspective and what she brought to the WNBA, along with Angel Reese and the other players who, I think in the last 3 or 4 or 5 years, from a marketing perspective, have really added so much value to where they're going, hence they signed a new TV deal.
Why is it that former NBA players seem more eager to defend and promote Caitlyn Clark than her own league? This question is at the heart of a growing debate surrounding her rise in women's basketball. Despite her groundbreaking achievements, including being named Time Athlete of the Year, Clark finds herself largely unsupported by the WNBA. Instead, NBA champions like Matt Barnes and Trevor Ariza, who have no stake in women's basketball, are the ones vocally praising her, calling her a once-in-a-generation talent. The WNBA's silence on Clark's accomplishments stands in stark contrast to the vocal backing from these NBA stars. This raises an uncomfortable question. If the WNBA can't see Clark's star power, why are outsiders like Barnes and Ariza leading the charge in defending her? The league's lack of support is an issue that needs addressing.
The idea of some players being jealous, yes, that probably exists.
Okay.
To me, yeah, jealous, sure. I mean, would you be jealous of somebody that got $28 million a shoe deal or whatever the deal is before you step foot in the pros?
You might think the WNBA is being cautious, but here's the thing. The league has a history of hyping up its rookies. Remember when they rolled out the red carpet for Brittany Griner, or how Diana Taurasi was given major fanfare? The WNBA knows how to market its stars when it wants to. Let's be real, Caitlyn Clark is bringing eyeballs to the game. She's filling arenas and making people care about women's basketball in ways we haven't seen before. Jim Jackson wasn't exaggerating when he compared Clark's marketability to Steph Curry's. The numbers back it up. Clark's jerseys are flying off the shelves, and TV ratings soar whenever she plays. The WNBA is sitting on a gold mine, but for some reason, they're not taking full advantage of it.
She's doing rating-wise for the WNBA what Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Steph Curry have been doing for the NBA.
This goes beyond Caitlyn Clark. It's about the WNBA's future. The league has a golden opportunity to capitalize on the excitement surrounding Clark, growing its fan base and securing better TV deals. But instead, they're letting others take control of the narrative. What message does this send to future stars, fans, and sponsors? By failing to support Clark, the WNBA risks alienating a whole generation of players and supporters. The question is, what's the long-term plan here? Is the WNBA hoping this issue will fade, or are they missing an opportunity to elevate the entire league? One thing is certain, time is running out, and the ball's in their court.
You know well enough that in 1984, when Michael Jordan came into the NBA, the ratings in the NBA were not great. Chicago Stadium was, a third full. He's getting the lion's share of the attention. The games are now all of his games are on TV. And he just was a polarizing figure. And Tiger Woods was like that when he went to the PGA as well. He changed the total economics of golf the same way Michael Jordan changed the financial economics of the NBA.
Caitlyn Clark's journey from college superstar to WNBA phenom hasn't been without its hurdles. Despite securing the Times Athlete of the Year award, she's found herself at the center of unexpected criticism from within her own league. But here's the twist. NBA champions are stepping up to defend her, while the WNBA remains curiously silent. This situation brings to light much deeper issues within women's basketball. It's not just about one player or one award. It's about how we value and support our athletes. The WNBA has a golden opportunity here, with a rising star who's bringing in new fans and boosting the game's visibility. Rather than pushing her aside, the league should be championing her, as well as all its talented players. It's time for the WNBA to fully embrace its stars, because when one player shines, the entire league can sparkle. Do you agree? Let us know in the comments. If you enjoyed, leave a like and subscribe. More videos are on screen now.